Over the last couple of months on the forum, we've been asking members to put their questions to you. We've also had Anastasia, Mark Webster, also Jenkins, all the world champions, and haven't got you. Save the best till last. The first question comes from Nick, and his question is, what got you into darts originally?
What got me into darts? I think when you're younger, all kids sort of have a throw at the dartboard and mess about, and then you sort of join your local club, wherever that is, and it gets a bit more serious. You just put your name up on the board and winner stays on sort of thing, and there was one chap at their local club that nobody could beat. And as soon as he put his name down, all the other names, nobody ever put their name underneath him. I was the only one that used to have a go at him and kept playing him until I could beat him. So that's what got me into it.
Right, okay. I'll take yours is the name that people don't want to see on the list now then. Sure Shot would like to ask, why did you decide to go for the unconventional option of having no rings or nil darts, just blanks?
Because I don't see the point in rings and that really. People think it's grip and it's not. It's nothing to do with grip. The rings are already put on there for decoration, and they lessen the grip on your dart. I mean, it's like a slick tyre on a racing car. The grooves on a tyre are not put on sort of for grip. They're for wet weather, and the grooves just get rid of the water. In dry weather, the more tyre touching the road surface, there's more grip like that. So that's why they use slicks in a racing car, which is exactly the same sort of thing as my darts.
Med Player has asked, if you could remember back to when you first started out, how did you work on your correct stance and grip of your darts?
I think that's just natural. I think that just comes naturally. Everybody's got different throws, and to be honest, I mean, you can tell whether a player is going to make it or not by his throw. I mean, there are some exceptions where some players have done well by having a sort of funny throw, but if you look at all the top players, I mean, most of them throw from their eye to the board quite straight.
You mentioned your eyes there. Man United Forever has actually asked, when you're throwing, which is your dominant eye for aiming?
Your dominant eye for aiming, I suppose, to be right eye.
Okay. We've had a question from over the pond, from Ricky, who's saying, are you part of the online darts community? And if so, where do you prefer to hang out and why?
I've never heard of it. The online darts community? No, I haven't heard of that before.
And if not, why not? And do you see any benefits of the internet, in the sport of darts?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody can get online and see what's happening in the competitions that aren't on the telly. Yeah, I think it generates a lot of interest. People are always interested in what people have done at the weekends, and if it's not a televised event, they can still get on the internet and see who's beat who and whatever. So yeah, it's definitely good for the sport. Yeah.
Fan Darts has asked, what is the lowest moment of your pro career, and how did you react to it?
The lowest moment, I think, losing to Kirk Shepherd in the World Final, in the World Championship, first round. I mean, he's a player that I should be seen to be quite easily, really.
You and everybody else, I think.
It just didn't happen for me that day. I think the game was too easy. I was 2 sets to nil up, 1 leg to nil up, and the game was more or less over. And I think it was just too easy. I went to sleep.
Regarding Kirk Shepherd, how do you feel about the way he performed throughout the competition? Do you think it was pure luck that got him to the final, or do you think he's actually got something?
No, I think no, he played well. He did play well in some of those games. Fair play to him. He got where he did. I would never knock anybody for getting where they do in a competition. He got to the final. He deserved to get there. He punished everybody for making mistakes, and I think he played like that because there was no pressure on him. He went into that competition. It was just he was nowhere in the rankings. He had not many points, and there was no pressure on him. We were all fighting for points. The top players are all fighting for points all the time, and there's a lot more pressure on us than there is on somebody like Kurt in that situation.
Danny UK also has a question regarding the internet. Obviously we now know that you're not a frequent user of the internet. And he'd like to know why not, and why haven't you registered to the dartboard.co.uk? Big John, one of our Glasgow members. Yes, well. He'd like to know, how often does Jackie beat you at darts?
How often does Jackie beat me? We don't really play each other. We do now and again. We have some practice games, but.
Is this because you're scared of being beat by a woman?
No, she's not interested really. No, she doesn't play as much as she used to. She only plays every now and again.
Okay. Also, why did you make the decision to turn pro, turning a hobby into a job?
I never really made the decision to turn pro. That just happens, I think, as you progress up the rankings. The higher you get up the rankings, the more competitions you automatically qualify for. I think it just happens that way. No, I never really intended it to be like that. But I just done it to prove. I only joined the PDC to prove a point that I could make the top 10.
You definitely did that.
As soon as you make the top 10, then you qualify for this and that, and then you get in exhibitions, and it just takes over. Really, I don't think anybody ever intends it to happen.
Right. Last year, you were involved in a lot of major finals, but you never quite managed to get the win. How does this affect you? Do you see it as a positive to get that far, considering the strength of the field, or are you more disappointed because of being so close and falling at the final hurdle?
Oh no, definitely not disappointed. I mean, to make 5 finals, at the end of the day, everybody's as good as one another. And if you get beat in the final, the other chaps played better than you. It's all of those players that have beat me in those finals, I've beaten them before. It just happens that they beat me at the right time when they did in the final. I mean, I would have liked to win one, but I'm not disappointed with getting to the final, definitely not.
Okay, we also have a certain member who is a huge fan of yourself, a young lad by the name of Ant from Manchester, otherwise known as Snake Hips to everybody on the internet. His first question is, does the way you played at a venue previously have any effect on your confidence?
No, you just put that in your mind, and the next game is the next game. I can go up there and play the worst darts anybody's ever seen the one week. But the next week I could probably play the best darts anybody's ever seen. So no, I never think about that. The next game is always different. Every game is different.
We continue on with Snake Hips questions. Do you ever worry about obsessive fans?
No, you just stay away from them.
Okay. He also says, I love you, and can I kiss you?
No.
And his final question, how would you feel if you found out that he had a tattoo of your face on his chest?
I don't know what to say to that, really.
I don't think there's a lot you can say, to be honest.
As long as he stays